Hey everyone, welcome back. In this Postman tutorial, we are going to discuss more about the JavaScript and we are going to discuss about JavaScript functions. So what exactly is a function? In any programming language, when we talk about function, it's kind of the information or basically a piece of code that you want to or try to reuse so that you don't have to write that same piece of code again and again. So what you do is you define that particular piece of code in a code block, and that's what reusable code block is, function or method. Now there is a difference between function and method, but for now from the testing perspective, let's keep it simple and understand that they are basically same, right? So there is a minor difference between a JavaScript function and method, but it's kind of solves the same purpose, which is basically reusing the same piece of code again and again. Say for example, if we talk about console.log, right? So when we say console.log, we have been using this, and here we say this is log message. Okay. Now if I use this, right? So console.log, now this, if you just hover over, right? Now this is a method, right? So this is kind of a function which will help you to output any of the text that you want to, or any of the output that you want to in the console, right? So if say for example, now I send this, you will see this is a log message. Now if I have to use it again in my code anywhere, okay, whether pre-request script or test or anywhere, I can simply go ahead and say console.log and put the message there, right? Now the heavy lifting, or what exactly happens when we provide this argument here, the message that we want to log, what happens, what is the code logic behind this .log, right? Behind this log function, all of that is defined in the log function, right? We don't need to be aware of it. So this is the whole purpose of function. It's kind of a step-by-step instruction that you write once and reuse later. Okay. And in test automation, you will be doing it a lot, right? So say for example, there are common utilities. Okay. For example, taking screenshot, right? Now, will you be writing the code, same code for taking screenshot again and again, everywhere in your test script? Not at all, right? So what you will do is you will create a function, and then you will create a common library of that taking screenshot, and then just call that method or function, right? So this is what in general function is all about, and the logic is same. It doesn't matter which programming language it is, right? So in JavaScript, it is also same. We just need to understand how you are going to define a function in JavaScript, right? So to define a function in JavaScript, you simply have to use the keyword function, okay? And then specify the name of the function. So I'll say RCV function, okay? And then the brackets there, okay? And then curly bracket, okay? So this is basically the structure, okay? So the function keyword, then the name of the function, any name that you want to specify for your function, okay? Then the parenthesis, all right? And then the curly brackets. Within this, now you can define the code that you want to output, right? So this is very basic definition, or how you are going to define. Now within this curly braces, I will then write my code, right? So let's put a very simple code there. So I'll simply just print something, okay? So I'll say console.log, okay? And I'll say welcome to RCV Academy, okay? So just that bit, all right? Now this is how you are going to write function in JavaScript. The keyword, the name, the brackets, and then the curly brackets, okay? And then within there, you just provide you just write the steps or the statements, okay? So if I send this, let's see what happens. All right, let me clear the logs and send it again. So I have put the log message there, right? But it didn't print anything. Why? Because we have defined the function, okay? But we haven't called it, right? So in order to use the function, you have to call it as well, right? So in order to call the function, what I have to do is I have to just say RCV function, okay? The name of the function followed by the parenthesis and semicolon, right? So this is how we are going to call a function, okay? So if I send it now, it should print welcome to RCV Academy, right? And now I can call this function any number of times, right? So I can call it multiple times here, okay? And that many times the same console.log message should get printed on the console, okay? So you'll see that it has printed welcome to RCV Academy 4 times here, okay? So this is briefly how you are going to define a function and then call it, right? Now here within the parenthesis, if you see the now many function, for example, I have told about this console.log, right? So console.log. Okay, if you see this console.log, right, this is a method, basically the function, and here I can specify the message, right? I am specifying the message within it as well. That means it accepts the argument as well. So when you're defining the function, you can also provide the parameters. Okay, now there is a difference between parameter and argument. When we say parameter, okay, so let's say for example I just want to say course. Okay, so here this is the parameter. When I define within a function, within parenthesis, I define any variable, okay, that is basically a parameter. Okay, now this is saying same thing, for example defining a variable. Okay, so say for example we used to do like let course, right? So this is something same, but in function what we are doing, we are basically providing that parameter as part of the function, so that when somebody calls that function, they can provide the parameter. Same as log, right? In the log you will see that there is a option to provide a message, right? In the parenthesis, if you see, there is a option to provide a message. Okay, so that is why we are able to pass in the argument. Now the actual message that we are passing when we are calling the method or the function is argument. Okay, but the message that is defined when function is being declared, that is the parameter. So in this case, course is the parameter. Now we have defined the parameter. Let's also use it, right? So there is a, in JavaScript, there is a concept of template. So I'll explain about the template as well. But as of now, simply understand the template starts with a backtick and then followed by the backtick at the last, right? Now within this template, say for example, I want to print welcome to RCV Academy. Okay, and then the course, whatever course name is being passed in this particular function, I want to print that here. Okay, so simply say dollar and then curly braces, and within there you simply say course. Okay, so this course, whatever will be passed when person is calling this particular function, will get replaced here. Okay, because we are using the JavaScript template with the back. Okay, so now if I say here, right, if I say, let me remove these two, and then I say, now because there is a parameter defined here, so I can pass in the argument here, right? So here if I see hover, I'm hovering over, you will see RCV function course any, right? So I can say, for example, I can say Java. Okay, and then send it. Let's see the result in the console. Okay, clear it and send again. So in this case you will see welcome to RCV Academy Java, right? In the second one, because I haven't provided any argument there, so you'll see that it is undefined. Okay, so if I say Python, in this particular case you will see the output has changed. First time it was Java and then it was Python. So this is briefly how you are going to define a function with parameters, then use those parameters while calling the function. Okay, this is very basic and we are starting from basic, so you know in the API testing how you are going to define the function and then reuse them in your API automation. Okay, so that's all about functions in JavaScript. I hope it was helpful. Thank you very much for watching.